There we go. There we are. Howdy, Xavier. Good to see you in the chat.
Ew, I thought we were playing good games now.
Yeah, I know. So did I. But then I finished Solo Piece. I'm like, you know what? I could use some shots of the pigs. You know? So this is my life now. I forget what the numbers were. But I guess we're gonna kill some pigs until the bigger pigs spawn, and then we kill those pigs until the big pig spawns. You know? There we go. There we go. I actually never seen this. I've only heard about it. Yep, well, you're about to see it today. Because I'm pretty sure it's like, what, you kill like 20 of these pigs and then the bigger pigs spawn. So, we're going to do that. Oh, I'm tired today. I'd like some actual bacon, you know? We'll have to settle, though. Oh my. Frickin' baby pigs. What a random detail, well. You mean with the pigs? Yeah. It's one of those things where you're like, you understand the concept, but it obviously makes no sense if you want to like take it seriously as like a lore thing. Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, well, this exists, right? I hope I don't screw this up and it's actually like something else we gotta do for this, but I guess we'll see. I'm pretty sure it's just you kill them. Whew. Alrighty. So continuing where we left off on Elden Ring and stuff. I'm thinking about... Oh. There we go. Well, I'm also thinking about, obviously, what I'm going to do for Mesmer's crusade and stuff. Right? Because that's going to be its own separate article, like I mentioned earlier. And this is kind of like tie into, like... If I talk about Mesmer's crusade, I probably will have to eventually get around to talk about Mesmer. Though I might just make a preliminary article where I just talk about the basic facts of the crusade. And then work my way from there. Like, one thing I'm curious about, for example, is we have a lot of Erdtree burial sites, and I presume those are Crusade-related, all things considered. Right? That would be my assumption. But then I have to sort of, like, go through then and sort of decide, okay, well, if this is all, like, related to the Crusade, then is it this idea of them fighting with other forces? Like, how far we could take it if these are actual, like, you know... Because we also see graveyards which are clearly just like, oh, these are, like, horn-sink graveyards, right? You know, sometimes they have the special headstones or whatever. Sometimes it's just, you know, the ordinary, you know, like, you know, the... Oh, we're gonna scale down this convenient graveyard that's on the side of this cliff, you know? The cliffside cemeteries, as I love to call them. Oh. I don't know why, sometimes you don't die. So that's like a detail I have to think about. Like I said, also Mesmer himself, right? Like, how deep do I want to go onto his, like, whole abyssal serpent shtick? I wonder if you could actually make a connection with the Impaling Catacombs in the base game. You can't. It's not the same thing. I'm sure if I really wanted to, I could force it, but, like, I could not in good faith make an argument for the Impaling Catacombs having a connection to Mesmer. I could not. I don't think the time period matches up. I don't think the, I don't think the concept matches up. I don't think the name really matches up. I stand by what I said before launch. I think that was like a jump. I always stated that the bigger argument you could make was the smoldering butterfly in front of the graveyard at the Erdtree Church. Though, as we know, Mesmer has his own butterflies. And after looking at the Japanese and comparing it to stuff with Melina, I'm like, okay, yeah, these are definitely related to Melina. Because I always had some problems with it because you could potentially not use Melina, you could use Hayata. But I think that's just an oversight by Miyazaki, right? Because it's very clear when I was looking at that, yeah, this is supposed to be for, you know... Where's the third one? Anyway, so like, you're not, I could not in good faith make an argument for the Impaling Catacombs. I'm sorry to say. It's all the M names. We do have a lot of those, don't we? We have a lot of G names, a lot of R names, and a lot of M names. Geez, I wonder why. Oh, there we go. Oh. Try to separate them so they don't do awkward shit. But they're absolutely convinced that I'm doing awkward shit. Oh my god, and they also don't kill me. Come on. Oh. I just gotta get one of them separated again. Come on, buddy. There we go. That should be a good shot. Oh. Why the hell did you go out? Oh, whatever. Well, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Hello? Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wish this thing would just remember the orientation I have this stuff, because I really like it when it's actually perfectly fit. It doesn't have, like, that extension thing. I saw something that mentioned that Miyazaki said if they'd ever do an Elden Ring 2, they'd have to bring back Marden. Yeah, that makes sense to me, because like I said, they'd have to add new lore, because Elden Ring, for better or worse, is all about the demigods, and the entire story and narrative arc it would all build upon it. So if they would have to, for any possible sequel, they would need Marden to come back and create new lore, right? I could see myself clipping some of this together. Though, honestly, it's not the worst if it's just this. Yeah, I think this works still. I don't hate this. Yeah. I'm okay with that. But yeah, I know people don't like it when I say this, but it's true. Elden Ring just doesn't have the same sequel potential as Dark Souls. And you guys all know how I feel about Dark Souls having sequels. I love 3. Don't get me wrong. I love 3. But Dark Souls never needed nor should have had any sequels. As far as a narrative perspective goes. Oh. It's just one of those things that yeah, you would need Marden to come in and help give you new ideas, build upon either existing characters or add new characters, probably add new concepts or whatever to justify any, you know, give Miyazaki the room so they can more radically change the scenery. like I said, they could maybe get away from just reusing the lands between, but coming at it from a different angle. But they'd have to come with some reason why everything we know and have been to before would be so radically different within whatever time, their time frame we're working with. And again, they probably want to have Martin for that, where like he would help create this new history of what happens post America, and obviously post us as Elden Lord, because that's another thing. They have to then figure out what are they going to do with us as Elden Lord, because unlike with the Link of the Fire, we aren't being incinerated into kindling to become the First Flame's guardian, right? So you have to come up with an entire reason why the main character, no matter what ending or whatever canonical ending they end up going with, is not there or part of the story, or if they are, or how come we're not going to see them, or why they're going to change or be different, so they'll have a canonical, I don't know, appearance, or like, there's just so much that has to go into that. So much more thought that has to go into it compared to Night Rain. Miyazaki understands, like, Night Rain, he's like, okay, yeah, I'll let this guy do whatever he wants. It's gonna be like a silly little spin, you know, it's gonna be our Smash Brothers. Like, it doesn't have to make sense. But actual sequel to Elden Ring 2, he's like, no, we gotta actually make sure this is all, you know, proper. We can't disrespect the actual lore. Another thing I'm curious when it comes to Mesmer is how I'm going to handle Rolana. Because again, there's astrologers, and I've talked about having Carians potentially be separate from astrologers. So like, yeah, there's just so much I have to think about now when it comes to how I'm organizing this stuff. Because a lot of what I have is fine, right? Like I said, I think Erdtree Beginning is the only thing that needs any radical changes, or, you know, like I need to split off I need to split off into a separate article for the non-Erdtree stuff. But for the other things, I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to rethink, like, what I'm gonna, like, how I'm gonna fit in Rolana, how I'm gonna work, how that's gonna work with the Mesmer stuff. Because it could be I include all the Rolana stuff in the Mesmer stuff, right? As part of that, or I include her as a separate, I guess, a sort of, like, supplementary instead, and make her part of a thesis. Seeing her announced on Raw would be fun. Yeah, I think that's gonna be a fun one too, is me actually going and talk, because I've talked a lot about the Ancient Civ, but like, it's gonna be like really digging into it. Also, hey Birdie Sanders, welcome to the chat. Do you have any favorite lore for religions in Dark Souls 2? Favorite lore for religions in Dark Souls 2? I guess one of the stuff I talked about with the possibility of Drang Lake, with Vendrick coming from Lindelt and being, like, you know, part of that, like, old traditional, you know, that old religious tradition before all the god stuff really got wrapped up into it in Lindelt. I think that's an interesting idea as far as lore is concerned. But in terms of something that's a little more solid, I've always liked the idea that you have these knights, like the Drakeblood Knights, and then partially to cover their own asses and partially out of personal guilt, they take some of the stuff they've stolen from the civilization they effectively destroyed, and then built an entire new religion about it when they took it back home. They're like, hey, look at this crazy thing. Look what we did. We stopped this evil satanic dragon. Woo! Love it. I think there's a lot there. Hello, Maria. Welcome to the chat. The Hornset apparently have history with the Fell God, but the Forge of the Giants is made out of Divine Tower and Rao architecture, if I remember correctly. I don't know about the Fell God, but I'd have to look in. I'd love to see what other people have done on this. I probably honestly watch a bit of videos of other lore stuff just because I've been out of the loop for so long. I'm sure there's stuff that I haven't missed or I haven't seen in the discussions that I would love to take a look at. And then we'd see how much, you know, how much I agree with, how much I think is bunk, and, you know, we'd work from there. But I think it'd be very interesting to see all the stuff that, because I still think, like I said, I'm a neophyte when it comes to ER lore, but when it comes to the DLC especially, like, I think I have an incredibly superficial knowledge of it. The Furnace Golem lore mentions that the Fell God is an enemy of them or something. Oh, I see. I see. enemy then's not, like, part of the... Yeah, I'd have to think on that one then, because then we don't really see too much going on with the giants there. The Felg that haunts the sun. Yeah, that would make sense then, yeah. I could see it if the idea is that you have, because people have talked about the Fel God potentially be connected to the sun, and that could work with the sun capital. So I could see this idea of you have Altus, and then you have, obviously, let's call it Southern Altus for the sake of simplicity, right? For the Realm of Shadow. But you essentially have, like, Altus with, like, the sun capital and all the sun stuff going on with it, and then you have the snake culture, but then you have the horn scent down south. And maybe the idea would be that the sun capital, because, you know, it borders with the mountaintops with the fire giants and stuff, then maybe there could be some connection with the Fel God there. And that they were kind of antagonistic, which would, again, would line up with the whole America going in and sort of conquering the sun capital while in league with the Hornsen, essentially. I could see that. I could see that. It would also make sense because, as I've talked about before with the farm colonies, there's an obvious case of giants having travel and, like, having sort of interactions. We also have giant, you know, non-human, quote-unquote, heads in, we're gonna have to rest the bonfire, but we also have non-human heads at Dominula and stuff with their weapons and things. So it could be that there's actually a more ancient tradition there, and the Dominula snake culture is, you know, a little bit more ambivalent and more willing, or maybe, who knows, could also be that some of those were, like, willing, or, you know, I don't know, prisoners of war sacrifice. Like, I have to really think that one through. It's just interesting that apparently Rao helped them build the Bug Fel God Bowl. Again, I've always, okay, so, because we're talking about the furnace there, and it has some of the... I've thought about that for a bit, and I've always wondered whether it's something where they're either A, reusing the asset, 2, Rao actually was involved in there, or 3, it's a case where, how do I put this? Rao may have gotten its architectural culture from the giants. It's actually the giants who gave them, right? It depends also on how strictly we consider the smithing thing, right? Because does stonework count as, you know, part of the smithing knowledge? Because obviously we know Far Missoula and stuff already existed and things like that. So it really depends on how big are we going to put, how big are we going to emphasize the giants as, like, this origin of smithing and stuff? Because we also know Far Missoula eventually got smithing, but that could have been through the giants. Hey, Tyrone. Good to see you. Yeah, I think doing the stuff on Mesmer and Lana would be fun. I think it'd be fun to also work on, just work on sorting through America's backstory and stuff. Thinking that stuff through. Oh! Oh. Also, actually, another thing that I would really love to talk about is the Misbegotten there, and the slaves, and, like, the Banished Knights. Obviously the Banished Knights, right? Always the Banished Knights. But I think that would be cool stuff, part of the Mesmer thing I would like to talk about. Bale would be cool. Yeah, you know what? I do have to also think about Far Missoula now, because we have so much more Fallen Missoula lore, and it confirms some other things. I think I want to go through and make some adjustments to, Exites, I think it is, right? Is that the name? I think I need to go through, it's either Radon I think it's Radon. Yeah, I think it's Radon. I think I have to go through with Radon and fix the eggs. Oh, there you are. And fix the Exikes stuff, because I think I at least casually allude to them trying to defend the Dragon Communion Temple, and now we know it's probably more like Exikes just wants to make sure no one uses it again, right? Which is funny, because, well, we see someone got past him, but listen, the man tried. This is my first time actually fighting this thing. I actually don't remember if I fought this thing before. Pretty sure not, because I don't play this game enough to go to New Game Plus and see this thing at Seldora, so. You have to do a big Banished Knights thing? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think with Erdtree's beginning, I might have to separate that stuff out. But it really depends. It really depends on how much I can now individually talk about these cultures, you know? Alright, get used to this, chat. This is gonna be the rest of the stream, is me dying to Big Boy. Because my existing stuff on the farm colonies is good. And obviously we have the Fringe Folk Rebellion, right? But then there's the Mesmer stuff that goes in between, and then there's also the Omen incident that also gets a little talk, but Omen incident now is probably going to be its own separate thing. Which, you know what, is actually kind of cool. At the very least, I can now talk about that stuff in broad strokes, knowing where it takes place in the timeline. And then if there's anything, like, big on the details, that I can always flesh that out later, right? I think I'm gonna handle it kind of like how I handled Dark Souls 2, where I talk about, like, the core essentials and stuff. Stuff that I know I'm gonna be, at the very least, have a 95% chance of being right about, you know, at the very least, I'm gonna be right about 95% of it when I finish writing all that basic. And then if there's a little bit more that I gotta flesh out or whatever, or I can add on to, or what have you, right? I can go back and do that. I would like to get a site profile. That would be pretty nice. I mean, what else on my, what else would I want to squeeze in there? I mean, there's the Godwin stuff, but I'll be honest, at this rate, I'm never gonna get to Godwin. Godwin is, like, such bottom priority for me, as far as lore goes. Like, I could not care less about Godwin, you know, post-death. It's weird. I have to try to get myself killed on the edge of his hitbox, so I die on his side. Come on. That's really hard. Would you happen to have any ideas about about creating a religion based around the concept of tragedy? What, you want to be a Caitha worshiper? I mean, you already basically have that concept with Caitha, pretty much, right? With the Goddess of Fear. So you could just create you just have to, like, focus on the cult of Caitha. But are you talking about within the Dark Souls framework, Birdie? Or do you mean, like, just in general? There we go. That looks good. I meant in general, my mistake for not mentioning that. No problem. This motherfucker. Thankfully, the second shot looks fine. It's just really funny how that thing... Yeah, there we go. Then... don't need that. Why they put this thing in Majula was such a weird choice. I feel like the B team hates from fans. Listen, as I'm going to talk about in the supplementary I'm coming out with soon, it's obviously the idea is you have little baby piglets, then you kill the piglets, and then you get the, the adult, the normal adult pigs, and then you kill the adult pigs, and then you get the giant, a wild boar, right? So the idea is clearly showing the maturation, right? You go from little pig to big pig, right? But yeah, there's no, like, it's not like this, it's like a little Easter egg, right? It's not something you're supposed to, think too hard about lore-wise. Because who's, like, let's be honest, who's going out of their way to kill these pigs, right? Like, it's not that many players. I guess maybe if you're really desperate for souls, you're like, I'm gonna get 22 souls, every little bit counts, Like, maybe. But, like, this is, like, it's not that many. I did it my first playthrough. Well, sucks to be you, huh, Tyrone? Anyway, to answer your question, Birdie, if I were to create a religion that was based around tragedy, I'd probably make it very death-themed, because obviously death would be considered the ultimate tragedy in the religion, right? Like, that would be presumably the ethos, right? Like, everything would have to be built around, sort of tiers of hardship, right? It probably would also have to be built around very much dealing with tragedy. So I would say probably have a very robust funerary culture. Like there'd be a super, like, I would say like Egyptian in the same way, where Egyptians, because their Egyptians' focus was always on sort of the afterlife and preserving your thing. But if we're talking about specifically just tragedy, it's sort of the idea of maybe having it where, there's different rituals depending on how you die, what you die from, etc. That type of thing, where there's a lot more sort of variability and complexity in sort of the difficulties there. Probably also spread that to medical culture. Like, what if you have like a congenital illness or some life-threatening amputation or whatever, or maybe you some terrible accident leaves you permanently paralyzed or crippled or blind or something. Like, I would look at those types of things and sort of build on from there with like, okay, how do people in this society treat those who suffer such maladies or misfortune? Like, would they do they uplift them in society? Do they consider them like these poor people who you kind of have to put them on a pedestal where it's like, oh, you can't take part or anything, like, and they're not allowed to really do anything? So it's sort of that thing of like, oh, you kind of like, nanny state them, right? Where it's like, oh, you poor little underclass. You have suffered such terrible things. We're gonna just, put you here and you can just, rot away while we take care of you, right? Because it's just so awful what happened to you, right? Like, I could see something like that happening in that type of culture. What'd be another thing when we're talking about tragedy? Entertainment would be interesting. Does tragedy extend to sort of the type of media and stuff do people watch? Or are people instead, because the religion's so tragedy focused, they just like comedies and they try to ignore things, so stuff in their entertainment, nothing bad happens, right? So it becomes this culture that's sort of hyper fixated on it's the meme with the dog, everything's fine. Like, they try to pretend that like nothing bad actually happens, because when you exit outside of that private entertainment space, everything's just miserable because of the religious beliefs. Like, there's a lot you can explore with that, I would think. I hope that's getting your brain churning. I subscribe to you. I want to share with you some cool ideas for your channel theme, and I bet you'll definitely like them. Hit me at Discord. Sure, maybe, Shepard. I'll have to think about that one. Thank you for the suggestions. No problem, Birdie. Let's see if I can get a clearer look at the head here. Uh-oh. Poor man is stuck. Ah, no. No! I maybe could have made that work. Did you read my idea? I have a very tragic idea. A loving God loves his creation so much that even when they betray him, he still sacrifices himself out of his love for them and dies for his creation. It's been done. Yes, but but I'm thinking about, I think what Birdie's asking, Tyrone, is about something that's much more, focused around just that core concept of, tragedy. But yeah, you could definitely put in, other elements that, that are, of course, obviously much rooted in stuff like Christianity. Buddhism has a bit of this, too. I think they sent the exact same image a long while ago. Yeah. Pretty sure it's a bot. One of my favorite enemies lore-wise are the Black Knights. I wish we could have spoken to a few of them before they got cooked. I'll be honest, I love the Black Knight lore, which is why I dislike some of the misinformation that kind of caught on about them, right? In the English community specifically. Because, like, it's really cool having this idea that these knights were outfitted in this armor that was specifically designed to deal with chaos. So, therefore, the armor was basically fine when dealing with the Chaos Flame. But the First Flame is so much more powerful than a flame hot enough to melt rock. Like, that's what we see with, you know, that's what characterizes chaos, right? But even Chaos Flame is, nothing in comparison to the First Flame. That the knights ended up turning to ash against it, yet the armor itself is so high quality. It is so well made by presumably the blacksmith god, right? Which is one of the reasons I like it so much, because it speaks to his character. But like, it's this armor that's such good quality that it just gets blackened. It turns black, but that's it. The most powerful flame in the entire universe, in that single, you know, flash of strength from Gwyn's fire linking, is only able to stain the armor black. I think that is so cool, right? Yeah, I'd agree with you. I think if you wanted to go with Christianity specifically, you know, it would be a lot more love. But yeah, there could certainly be elements of, there could certainly be tragic elements you could take from other existing religions and put that in there, right? Like, there's like, obviously, like, you see this in Miyazaki's games all the time, right? You know, the cycle, the cycle of suffering, the tragedy of existence, right? That's something that's very much you can see rooted in some of the philosophies of Buddhism, right? Which is why some criticism of Buddhism go into, you know, sort of like this nihilistic ego of, like, you know, the death of the self and all that stuff. But, you know, this isn't that type of stream, so not to harp on it, but you could definitely see, you could also see a bit like in Christianity and stuff, right? Sort of the tragedy of sin and things like that, you know, the fallen nature of man. That's another thing that you could always look into when you're talking about tragedy, is what, when we consider tragedy, there's natural tragedy, you know, things that just happen in the world through no fault of our own, and then there's the stuff that happens because of our own mistakes or our own sins, or things that happen because of other sins, and right? How does a cultural society view that? Do they have a concept even of sin? Or does this idea of tragedy supersede any concept of sin? And so there's no idea of personal responsibility. There's just the idea of maybe fate or something. That something just is completely outside of our control, and the way that things, the way that tragedies develop are simply, you know, it's just a fact of life that there's this suffering in the world, and, you know, that people, you know, people, you know, like, you know, there's this man who, you know, broke into your house and killed your mother or whatever, and, you know, that's just sort of a thing or whatever. There's no longer that emphasis on, oh, that man did wrong, right? How do they formulate laws then again, if they don't have a sin concept, or if they do, how does that work in terms of their legal codices, right? Because, you know, especially historically, you know, the law and religion, again, I think one of the problems with modern culture is that we separate religion as its like own word, right? When really, you know, religion is law, it's culture, it's society, it's tradition, it's, you know, it's all these things wrapped up into one, and it's sort of hard to kind of extract that and kind of separate that. That's why you have stuff like civil religion and things, when we try to separate that into, you know, like more secular, you know, state elements, like, you know, national holidays and things like that. You know, holy holidays, holy days, right? But anyway, again, I'm getting off topic, right? I think there's a lot of stuff you can work with there, Birdie, and I hope that this is all helping you brainstorm. Ecclesiastes is all about the tragedy of life in a very similar way. Niche, but comes to very different conclusions than something he would have. Yeah, there's definitely And there's stuff in the Apocrypha too, right? I think Job's a popular one when you think of like tragedy or whatever, right? You know, um, again, there's plenty of existing religious and literary material that you can mine when you're trying to you know, world build or develop a religious philosophy that's built around, you know, something as simple as, you know, tragedy, right? All of this is way over my head. That's fine, Xavier. Yeah, How do you miss me? I don't even move in this guy. Oh. Oh. There. Well, not. Well, not exactly what I wanted. I didn't want to die on this side this time, but I'll just live with it. Let's see. Darkness Hollows I'm good with. I'm happy with the shots I have. Dogs. I need more shots of dogs. I need to figure out what I'm going to do about the dogs. Oh. It's promising. Oh. Maybe? Yay, the worst enemy of the game. I wouldn't say he's the worst. A little annoying, but... Ah, of course, we get the blurry. Yeah, blurry. I don't like it, blurry. No. There we go. Anyway, to go back to Elden Ring as the topic and stuff, I don't know when I'm gonna get to Midra. I'll be honest. Maybe if Midra's part of, like, general Hornsent lore, I could find a way to fit him in, but I think... Oh my god. This is the hardest enemy to actually try to get hit by. It's actually crazy. I think I have to move just a few steps. Damn it, you moved, you fucker! Ah! Why? Why would you do that? Fuck you. No, yeah, so Midra, I don't know where I'm gonna fit him in. Though again, if there's a connection between the Fell God and the Hornsent as, like, enemies or whatever, that could explain why Midra is a human yet seemingly this respected sage, because he could be a defector from, like, again, just for the sake of simplicity, from, like, North Altus versus Southern Altus, right? That would be an interesting angle to take things. Perfect. Presumably the Hornsent find the Three Fingers with him and send it over to Langdell, right? I don't know. Because I don't think the imprisoned... The problem is, would be questioning, were the three fingers already there beneath Langdell? Or like you said, were they sent over? Like, how do you send over those? I'd have a lot of questions. I'd have to think about that one, Xavier. Because that one makes me wonder a few things. Because there's the fingerprints in his boss room. He seems to be on a mat praying to it. As in, he's praying to the three fingers, you think? Yeah, it looks good. I like it. Is that all hay at the center, like a barn? There is the hay. But do we see any burnt hay, or is it just regular hay? He starts the fight facing toward the center on a mat with candles in the corner. Yeah, I'd have to think about that one. Because he's also sort of been, you know, punished or what have you, and he's been kind of dealing with the punishment, so I'm like, did they kind of just punish him and then leave him there? Maybe. Yeah, I'd have to think about that one. Alright, I think that's it for the shots there. I think dogs will be next. How many souls do you get from killing him, actually? I can definitely see it, Xavier. I just have so many questions then on terms of just the question of, oh, Hornsen sent them over to America. Like, why? I guess the idea is they would rather America potentially suffer at the hands of it than them, right? That would be the best justification I can think of. Yeah, that'd be the only thing I could think of. Is there the dog still here? Because I'd want to die to the dog here. I don't remember if the hay is burned, I just remember the fingerprints under it, or maybe he tried to pouring it over the fingerprints to hide them, lol. Maybe, but then there'd be the question of why did he have the hay on hand? Granted, it could be that he was trying to burn it, or trying to fuel, you know, using it as fuel for rituals or whatever for the flame, right? It's like, okay, we'll have some hay for fuel. I could see that. I definitely think you have a good idea there, Xavier. Oh my god. Why? I'm starting to remember why I don't have shots of these dogs, chat. It's coming back to me. Oh my god, stop moving, you fucking moron! So they might have sent it off because they believe she could prison it better, or because they thought that the risk of fallout for her having it would be better for them than them having it, right? Because it's like, oh, if something goes wrong, it's America's kingdom, it's not our kingdom, right? Which could also show some tensions between America and the Hornsen before, you know, America decides to kind of genocide them, you know? Oh my god. There we go. Finally. Yeah, no. 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 That looks doable for sure. Yeah. I can live with a shot like that. I mentioned the door looked like it was sealed with tree design, if I remember correctly. I don't remember that. I'd have to go back and look for sure. One of the enemies of all time, for sure. It's an enemy, for sure. Of course you move. Whenever this dog's in the perfect angle, he moves. Little asshole. At least the run back is not hell. As in dried tree sap, I mistyped. We did more or less confirm that sap that's filling the gaps of the door, that's sealing the doors, right? So, could be if they're reusing that asset. I could definitely see it. I don't know why we're having dogs that randomly decide they're gonna walk around. I guess I should count myself lucky the dog stopped moving for like what, second, third try? Most normal TS2 run back? Yeah, for sure. This isn't even me trying to get it for the shot, this is just how the run back goes. Don't move, don't move, don't move, don't move. I love you. Oh, finally. Yeah, no. Oh. Yeah, okay. I don't know which one I like better. Maybe this one? This one kind of blends in with the foot. I think this one's much clearer. Maybe not. Yeah, I think this one looks better. Now we have something like that. Right. That looks good. Alright. On the topic of dogs, Mesmer also has the dogs that are like embered, right? Like they got the burning and yet they're totally okay. I wonder if that's like a fire priest thing or is that just like, nah, those dogs have just been set on fire and they're being cool about it. You know? I want the two together. Also, let's minimize this. Let you guys actually see what's going on. Oh no. was wanting just the bow and arrow guy to not, like, you know, back up into a corner. But I guess that was too much to ask. You know, I mentioned it before. I know now that you guys apparently mostly read my website on my on your phones. Like, I think at least 60% of you or something. But like, I wonder how that works for my channel. Like, how many people like watch my streams on their phone or not? Like, I really don't know. There we go. Oh, come on. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. There we go. Me, I do. Oh, really? Gosh darn it, I think my internet is eating my messages. Oh, that sucks, Xavier. I watch on phone always. Oh, really? I guess that's why you're always the first one in, huh, Xavier? Oh, I could do shop composition better than this. Let's keep trying. Cool to know, though. Yeah, like, I'm such a boomer. You know, I do everything on my PC or whatever, right? So, me tuning into a stream on my phone or whatever, like, it doesn't even occur to me. Me trying to, like, read, like, a long blog website on my phone, like, doesn't even occur to me. Alright, that I think was perfect. Like, I think legit our man moved himself in prime position. What do you think, boys and girls? I think it looks pretty swell. I like that. I enjoy that immensely. I just can't sit still enough to watch on my computer or TV. I like having the option to watch while pacing. Yeah, that makes sense. See, the thing for me is when I'm doing writing or whatever, I just get up and pace. But, you know, I think that's my personal work environment. Yep, I don't have a job yet. Don't worry, you'll have to be a functional member of society eventually. Eventually. Just look at me. I'm the perfect role model for that. Alright. I think we're done here. Alright, is there anything else I want to grab? I have to think about that one. Insert Shia LaBeouf clapping. I think we're good, right? We have that. Is there any shots I want to get with Darkness Hollows? Not particularly. One of my favorite lore connection between Velka and Keitha, they're both super interesting. Yeah, I think the fact that Velka basically, like, you know, like Velka gets this new identity as Keitha in the new world, and then she sort of just kind of adopts it and uses it for her own purposes. Like, that's just kind of neat, right? Like, that's so Velka. She's like, well, I didn't exactly plan for this, but this works. I could use this. My message that got 8 I suggest that maybe the fire dogs will revive zombies using fire. Ooh! Ooh, I like that, Xavier. I like that. Zombie fire hellhounds. That's a cool idea. I like that immensely. Yeah. Yeah, as I talked about before, I think one of my favorite little things has to be the coins used in Dark Souls 3 and the Velka connections that they used for. Like, it's one of those things that is very subtle. It's one of those inside jokes that you know Miyazaki did for himself, knowing no one would get it. But I do. I'm the mad lad who's gone way too deep and knows it. So it's just so... It's so funny to me when I realize that. It's still funny when I think about it. Like, I just have a grin every time it comes to mind, you know? I told you my game idea last time. Do you remember? No, Tyrone. Refresh my memory. If it's not in the suggestion on my Discord, I will not remember. That's why I tell Xavier, please remind me about the game he suggested so I don't forget that it's there in suggested. I know Nobre also has a game in there that I gotta look at some point. Let's see, I'm so disappointed we don't have Rachel. I killed Rachel, chat. Very disappointed in myself. I can't believe I killed Rachel. I need your Discord. Go to the link in the description to my website, Tyrone. Go to the contact page. The link to the Discord will be right there, along with my Twitters and all that stuff. So you can just join, and then you can, again, use the Report to Loki category to make suggestions when it comes to games and stuff. His brain is like Swiss cheese in all regards. Yeah. I keep telling you guys, there's a reason why I write down everything, because I won't remember otherwise. It's just reality. Yeah, I don't really want to do stuff, especially considering. I guess we can start on this because I don't want to let end the stream yet, chat. I'm enjoying hanging out with y'all right now. I love RNG! Alrighty. Iron. Iron with squigglies. Iron with vaguely fire lava-like squigglies. We do this before I lose 28k stupidly. The problem is the aura this gives us. Alright, if you say so, buddy. Wait, can you dodge roll that? Katha's chime! You may have to invite me. Discord links haven't been working on my phone. It should automatically join. You don't have to do the invitation, but if you have a PC or something, you can always do it through that, right? But sure, I can always send you a link separately, Tyrone. Maybe some other time. But yeah, that's the best place if you want to make suggestions or whatever, because I will always make sure that my Discord stuff has everything recorded. You guys report it there, I don't delete it. Keeps taking me to the App Store. Oh, you don't have Discord on your phone. That might be why, right? Yeah, that could be why. Because if you do, I don't know why it would take you to the App Store. There we go. Huh. Let's see now. Not having background music for this. So disappointing. You know what's also disappointing is Affinity just kind of working through walls like that, you know? They don't know I exist. Oh! Woo! God, imagine trying to make this despawn. Crimson water. Was gonna message you my info on Twitter. Wait till you get on your PC, Tyrone. Assuming you have Discord on your PC, again, you should just click the invitation and you should already be part of the server. Can't message you because I'm not verified. Loki, you leave. I don't even know if I have that as a setting or not. Do you have any favorite fantasy books? I highly recommend the Malazan Book of the Fallen if you haven't heard of it. Favorite fantasy books? Yeah, I have a few, but it's hard to pick my fave. The Legend of the Legendary Hero series, a light novel title naturally, is probably like really high up there for me. It's definitely like one of the I fell in love with the anime first, but it's just really good. I've enjoyed that one immensely. Was it Record of Grand Crest War? I have to double check. I really have to double check that one. That's also a light novel series. Very good. Also had a very decent anime adaptation. Could have been a lot worse. The Daughter of Evil and Deadly Sins of Evil series I liked. I think I enjoyed that one immensely. That would definitely be one that I'd recommend, those two. Let's see, fantasy. No, that's sci-fi. I mean, you know what, those are some good options to throw out, right? I think that's, you know, that's already pretty varied. I have to think more because there's a lot of series, and some of them I'm like, do I like the books as much as I like the anime or the manga or adaptations or whatever, right? Because I do pick favorites. That I'm very much elitist about, where I'm like, you know what? I think this manga could have been a bit better, but the anime adaptation's excellent. And there's somewhere I just don't. I have problems with all of them. Oh. So that's what we're doing. Oh, that would have been a cool. I could have got a good shot of that. Actually, I might already have a shot of it. I have to double check my Broom Tower picks. Shit. Woo! Alright. There we go. No. Damn. I have to be, like, on the ball for that one. Woo! Woo! Damn. Cool. Alright, come on, do it. No! Come on, do it. Oh! Come on, assassin girl. Oh! Ah! Come on. Oh! God, she's only done it twice. I feel like these enemies spam this their magic so much, and now they're not. I've been trying to send message for the past 5 minutes, and they're late, all of them. Well, that sucks, Xavier. Oh! Oh. Ah! I can't believe I ducked it with the gesture. I need to be a bit faster though on the reaction though. I might be able to crop something, but I really like the full, you know. Maybe if I stay at like medium range. Oh, like that. The problem is that lever in the background, so let's try it again. Oh my god. Also, look, I have a PC at the moment. I need to buy one. I'm broke right now, so I won't be happy for viewers. Ah, sorry to hear that, Tyrone. Maybe you can try to get Discord working on your phone then. Then that way, when you have you know, use your account, and then that way the link should work. And it shouldn't send you to the App Store because you know you'll have the app, right? I think that's how that works. Don't trust me with technology, you know. Ooh, finally went for the assassin move. What? The random yellow lights confuse me. Like, I don't know what they're here for. Like, they're just kind of there to give random lighting. Like, it's not coming from the lava. It's not like some weird glowing effect they're adding to some actual, like, you know, like, I don't know, pustule or something in the iron. Like, it's just like, hey, we just want to give this iron some yellow lighting for some random reason. Did you watch the Davey Bass vids? No, thank you for reminding me, Xavier. I do want to see those. Oh! Alright, that is cheating! I was supposed to say right now, that is cheating. You're doing it literally when I have my head clipped through, so I can't really see. I'd love it if you do it, like, right here in the middle, you know? Oh my god. It'd be so funny if I dodge rolled into the backstab. Come on, you nameless king wannabes. Do your lightning attack. Come on. I was about to say, they cut his hair? Yeah. That's why I said it. I was like, lightning, crazy hair, it works. It works. Wish we had the original story for DS2. We have the, we do have some of the original script, and it's basically the same as the current story, just all the not plot stuff is different. Like, in DesignWorks, the director was being honest when he basically said... Well, he's talking about how, oh yeah, these characters, yeah, we always had concept for these characters, we just changed the idea. It's like, yeah, that tracks. Alright, I think I have enough options now that I can get away with killing her. So, like, yeah, we already know what the basic idea for it, and it's essentially the same as what we got for the main game. It's just the stuff like the old ones with the 4 different souls, and we have different areas that these souls have been doing so, and, like, you know, some of the specifics, you know, like, you got, like, you know, Lion Clan and Shaded Woods and all this, like, that, you know, or Mytha and Harvest Valley and the old Iron, like, that stuff is all different. But all the core stuff, the actual, like, you know, story, yeah, that's the same. That didn't change much. You just got, like, Nishandra not being the main villain and stuff now. You know, she's not, like, trying to do some crap at a dragon shrine, you know, trying to be obsessive over an egg for her evil plans. Now she's like, you know what, I actually want the throne, which makes more sense for her, if I'm being honest. The problem is that The problem is, it doesn't matter if it makes sense for her character. She's still a terrible character as a main villain. Alright. Ah! Yeah, that's really lucky on me getting hit when I did. Oh! There we go. Again? Oh, we got more. Oh my god, we got more soldiers here too. Oh no. We'll try. Yeah, I would have liked if the focus was more on the quality than the quantity. I think overall the quality is pretty decent for the DLC. The problem is that it has the DS2 problem where there's just so much shit. It's never ending. Torch. They locked that guy up because they were afraid he was gonna blow up all the iron. They're like, hey, we're using TNT in here! There we go. He's called Omega Fantasy now, but I do recall him doing a video on the subject Dark Souls 2, and that we got was very, very different. I could be mistaken, however. Birdie, good, that's for Sandus K, right? Because, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he changed his username to. I was the guy. I'm the one who did the translation for him for the story. I know. I'm the one where he found it, and I was the person he went to translate it. So believe me, I know. I know all about that bit. But yeah, in terms of, like, what you were gonna do on the side, like, it was about the Pendulum of Time and stuff like that. But no, in terms of, like, the actual, like, core story, like, what our story was about and stuff, it was basically the same. You always had Vendrick, you always had the Giant War, you always had Nishandra, you always had, of course, Drain Lake and stuff, and the collapse that happened, all of it. Like, all the key base points were basically the same. The only question mark is really Aldia, is, if Aldia was a new creation or not for that, or if he was always there, they just don't mention him in the script files they had, right? But yeah, believe me. The whole reason I know about it is because Sandus K showed me those files. And I'm always going to be grateful for him for that. Mighty nice of him, you know? Oh. God, I have to go hit up Santa, see how he's doing. Haven't talked to him in a while. Also, why can't you do... Again, this is one of the parts where I don't... Again, this is where it's like a DS2 moment. It's like, why is it I can only use this lever once? and then and that's it for the trap. Why can't I just, you know, keep repeating it as many times as I want so I can get rid of the enemies and then go through? Again, the developers are trying to shove you so much into being like, if you want to take this shortcut, you have to do it exactly our way, and it's so boring. I just explained the plot of all 3 games perfectly. No need for more. Alright. I don't remember if I died in this or not. Nope, you didn't see anything. Just so we have more shots when it comes to the astrologers. Astrologists, I should say. We don't want to mix them up with the Elden Ring astrologists. No, 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 I mean astrologers. No, no, no. Astrologers and astrologists are completely separate parts of the lore. It's very important. The localization did an excellent job dividing between the two. Granted, I will say, I do appreciate that, even though, you know, it's a completely different series, they didn't just use, reuse the exact same term, considering that they're different ones in Japanese, right? One are rock nerds. Yeah, exactly! Even though we do have them in an iron passage full of rock. Huh. Now we don't need to think about it. Alright. Oh, right. Alright, we're going back, Jet. We're going back. I'm not losing my souls over this. I'm not losing 30-something souls over this. I've lost enough 30-something souls over crap. I have 50 faith. I don't know. Should I go for... I think I should go for strength now. You know? Yeah, I think strength is... I think strength's what we gotta work on. So I can wield my Black Knight sword. There's no Brightstone here! No, there is not, unfortunately. We haven't invented Brightstone yet. But don't worry, Elden Ring Night Rain will show us where... Actually, no, technically we have invited Brightstone already. What am I talking about? Glintstone is here. Brightstone... I'm so used to Elden Ring with Glintstone that I completely forgot Brightstone exists in Dark Souls 2. Oh my gosh. There's also the guy that invades you with the blue flame weapons, dual wielding. I don't remember where he summons though, and I don't know if I can grab him anymore because we've killed the boss. Cave of the Dead, I need to add that lore we talked about the other day with Nobre to Shulva. No, to Gutter. We want it on Gutter. I'm sorry, chat. I'm never, ever, ever going to get the 50 soul requirement for what's her face, Alsana. I'm gonna cheat engine my way in once we get the nuke PC. Hey, man, good to see you. I'm about to head off soon. We're having ER2, that's so amazing. I suppose it's more like Dark Souls 4, you know? I tried getting to the story and lore of Elden Ring, but I just can't really. I mean, that's fine, Birdie, right? You know, right? Like, just because, like, From Software games have similar storytelling styles, at least in theory, doesn't mean that you necessarily are gonna like all those stories, right? Like, you know, I could see someone who can't get into Bloodborne, but they're really obsessed with Demon Souls or something, right? So, I'm totally cool with that. Me, I do like it. It's not my favorite. I still think I like Dark Souls lore the best overall, but that's not really fair to Elden Ring, because Dark Souls has 3 separate games of cumulative lore to work with, right? So there's a lot to the world and the way it's developed and the history and stuff that I can appreciate. I'm not. Alright, and then... I guess... I think I've already done the stuff at Undead Crypt, though, right? Let me double check. Hey, I am. Wow, you guys are showing up now when I'm about to head off? Like, what's with you guys? Why are you being so mean to me? Gotta go check what Agdane sells again, just to be...
Human.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, that ain't magic you got on those spears. I'm not being mean, it's just a time thing, Loki. Yeah, sure. Sure. It's a time thing. Next, you're gonna tell me that the world isn't flat.
Did you come? Man, that
I already killed him, actually.
dead.
Oh. Thanks, buddy. Lol. Okay, he doesn't have that much. No, I have Crystal Soul Spear. I don't care about this. And Ring of Thorns +1.
Crude human. Do as you please.
I remember one time the Hollow carrying the torch followed me and these jerks attacked me. I love how apparently that is grounds to have you executed. Yet they won't off themselves for all this literally outside their door. Do not produce light. The dead do not want the light. Well, listen, I'm not the one who set up the light around here. Now, did I, Agdane? Why the hell do you have these torches here? Huh? Another reason why Dark Souls 2 makes no sense. There we go. There you go. Don't you dare! Human, do not produce light, Loki. I also love how he says it with the most, like, disinterested voice, like, another one. Jeez, when is the great dead one going to finally let me take down these torches? I do not appreciate the trolling. Human, do not produce light. The world is more like a tricycle. The world is a circle, Loki. Oh. I might actually produce light, though. Unironically, might produce light. There we go. Alright, this is kind of hyper-specific, but, what happens... Yeah, what happens if I, you know, die to one of the insolent or whatever they're called? God, I hope I don't make a mistake here. Yep, I made a mistake. Well, there goes my 32K. I like how I couldn't remember where exactly I dropped down to before. Thoughts on the Battle of Hastings? Why do I care about the Brits? We fought a revolution, so we wouldn't have to dare think about the Brits ever again, or their goddamn tea. Yeah, it was over here. Damn. I've never died, so I wouldn't know, Loki. Curses. Damn. Feels bad, man. I will try it. Let me go back up. Ah! Oops. Be funny if they add back in mimics for Night Rain. Oh, they 100% will. If they don't, I will be very disappointed in the devs. They have to add in both teleporting chests and mimic chests. And they have to be mimics styled after Elden Ring style chests, not Dark Souls style chests. That's the important part. Feels bad, man. Grace mimics? No, not Grace mimics, actual mimics. May as well pick this up before I get annoyed. Come on, kill me. I can make that work. What's Dark Lurker doing here? He's lurking, you know, in the dark. Need to bring bloodstain mimics that were in the Bloodborne art design. Really? I don't recall this. Lurking? He's a lurker? Damn, I know, crazy. Needs to be canceled. Yeah, we can't have lurkers in game. They belong only in chat. just need you to look the other way, buddy. Let's make him watch your streams. Ouch! We don't want to, like, punish him with death, you know? Hasn't Manus suffered enough? There we go. Whew. I can tell if that's part of the helmet or they actually have weird hollow face. Now I need to. I want to use the binoculars to get a zoom in. Yeah. Let's look at the shots I have currently. Do I like the shots I have of the guys right now? Yeah. That's good. It's okay. If I cheat and edit my head out there, I might be able to make this shot work. It's a really good one, chat. Like this is actually like exceptionally simple for me to edit that. Maybe. I think I like that better because it gets the message out of the way and I just have to slightly brighten this up here, right? Yeah, something like this. Yeah, I like that better. Why do you have a picture of an undead dog in your album? Do you miss him? Yes, you know, ever since poor old Rusty kicked the... I'm not even gonna joke about that. Good old Rusty boy's got a few more years in him, at least. I was supposed to tell you my game idea. Hold on, sure. Loki, do you remember the snake snails in Rao? Actually, I don't. Were they actually in Rao? Because we see them in Gelmir, right? I need to get rid of my soul thing, okay. Yeah, they are. Oh, you also, I remember because I remember the fly people. I don't remember the snake snails. I mean, we also have the ancient Civ ruins that are connected to Gelmir with the river thing, right? That flows into Liurnia. So I wouldn't be shocked. All right, I think we kill this guy. I think this guy can die. They're like in one place, but I think it might mean that they're straight up a Crucible creature. Oh, you think that they straight up like evolved from the powers of Rao at the Crucible and spread from there? Interesting. Oh, where do we see them? Oops. We see them in Gelmir. We see them in Noxtella. We see them in Liurnia. That's what I thought. Oh. Oh. I don't know what you're taking. Anyway, set in the very late end of the Ice Age, you're an Anatolic hunter in a place like Göbekli Tepe, and use your spears and archery to hunt Ice Age-style monsters in Sekiro-style combat. There's more hold. Your HP is lacking. It's not lacking. I just have these items to give me more spell power, and they just happen to eat my HP, you know? Given that the man-eating plants are Crucible, I'm now under the assumption that most fantasy creatures that mix of normal stuff is Crucible. I think that's a fair inference to make, Xavier. I think that's a good postulation to start with. We'll see how it pans out, but it's definitely something I'll have to keep an eye out now for, because I think it's a good idea. You'd also have Germanic raids from hunter-gatherer tribes from the north, as well as Celtic hill mound civilizations, one that's at war with yours, basically early civilization Sekiro. I mean, hey, it could work. You could apply the Sekiro-style combat to, like, any time period. Oh! And you can make it work. Alright, now the reason we did this was so I could do this. Alright, so, past here is the point. So don't go to the bottom of the stairs. I'm trying to think of, though, anywhere else that we see the snake snails. Did I miss any place? Noxtella, Liurnia. It could be either version. Noxtella, Liurnia, Gelmir. Do you have any more thoughts on Ulasil's Light Sorcery? I wish we knew more about it. Whatever I've said in Abyssal Archive and in and in the Xanthos Scholars for Dark Souls 3 is all I have to really say about it. Like, I don't really got much I can add, you know? It's kind of the point of me selling a book to you guys, that you kind of have all my thoughts grouped together, right? I think it'd be fair otherwise. But yeah, whatever I said in Abyssal Archive plus Xanthos Scholars, I think is mostly the limits of it. There's a little bit, I guess we could say, in DS2. Like, it's theoretically possible to do it with, style light sorcery. With Moonlight, right? Because ultimately it's just, you know, light doesn't require sunlight. It's more so a cultural thing, right? But there are some spells that specifically should rely on sunlight. At the very least, it'd be more difficult to do it with other kinds of light. Oh boy. Oh, of course. That's unfortunate. I think that's most of them. Yeah, I'd have to think more if there's any that, like, any major areas I'm missing. Because it could just be that they've spread so far and wide that it doesn't really matter, right? But if there's, like, specific locations we can pin them down to, oh boy, would that be something. Would that not be something? That's I deserve that. Oh, I guess he deserves that too. Spirit snails too. Ooh, spirit snails. Or would they be more like a Glowmite Queen thing? I don't know. I'd have to think that one over. We do see at least a spirit snail in the mountaintops. I mean, it's basically the same as the snake snail, right? It's just spiritual, so I think that counts. Oh. We also see them in Liurnia, Catacombs, and Haligtree. Yeah, but I'll consider that part of Liurnia. Haligtree. That could work considering there's the mountaintops connection if we include the spirit snail. It's just really weird to think of the snails being in a snowy area, though, to be fair. Oh, in Lanedale Catacombs, I think there's the spirit snail there for sure. I don't know if we have regular snails, though. Believe it or not, I didn't peak in high school. I peaked... What a balanced game. More balanced than Shout of the Earth Tree anyway. Yeah, for sure, sure. Yeah, okay. Whatever you say, Tyrone. Woo! Alright, we're gonna reset stuff because I want to get a shot of that guy if I can. I also peaked in elementary school. What a coincidence. You guys are too much. I don't think I've peaked yet. Yeah, I haven't hit my peak yet. I still got some gains. Well, let's see. I like how he kind of just emerges like that. Alright, I think we're good.
Human.
Yep. I promise I will not produce light, Agdane. I would never produce light. Yep. Never. Never, ever, ever. You know? Because that's what bad boys do. Isn't that right, chat? Only bad boys produce light. Oh, you've got it. I am not a naughty boy. I'm on Santa's nice list. Oh, he forced himself off the ledge. I promise I wouldn't produce light, Loki. Alright. Oh. May as well, right? Why am I reading message when I'm not even facing it? God damn. Trying to figure out what's the exact angle I want to have for this. I think this. What'd you do a few moments ago then? I don't know what you're talking about, Xavier. I'm making sure to contribute to the darkness, just see? Oh, whoops. See? Darkness. That's not light. I'm killing the guys that are throwing around lightning. So clearly I'm not producing light. They are. I'm innocent. I swear. Chat. Chat. Would I lie to you? There we go. We have the witches, the pyromancers, the insolent, whatever the other fricks are called. You're not innocent in the slightest. Chat. Chat. Loki, that wasn't me who said that. Whichever one. Sorry, Xavier, I'm mixing you and I am up. Let's see. I think that's it though for today, guys. I don't know if I can contribute anything more tonight. Like, I think that's the limit of what I can think of what I want to get shots done today. The same person with the voice changer. Oh my god, Tyrone, you're right. How did you mix us? What can I say? I'm tired. Anyway, yeah, I can't think of anything else where I'm like, yeah, I really want to go through and make sure I get shots of this again. Maybe, Invaders, but, like, I'd have to reset some areas to do that, and, like, I'll be honest, I'm at the point now with Invaders where I kind of just want to wait till the cheat engine. It's such a pain in the ass to get these shots of these Invaders. Have you ever seen Xavier and I in the same room? I think not. I agree with you. You're totally right, Tyrone. Anyway, alright, guys, we're gonna wrap things up here. Thanks so much for, you know, kind of just like showing up, I guess, and chatting with me about various topics and stuff. It's really cool. I love it when you guys give me ideas and I give you ideas. Anyway, have fun. Later. Bye-bye. Jedi.